What is going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to come back to you this afternoon and bring you a video that I saw on Twitter. And this video is of a young man standing in front of the school board telling them, hey, look, man, you are dividing groups of people. You are dividing people into groups based on race. And you're pandering to some and not mentioning others. And eventually you're putting others down. Or one in particular. But hey guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Brad Taylor, and I just finished my freshman year at RHS. I've been a part of District 196 schools now for 10 years, and I'm going to give you a glimpse today of what's actually going on inside these schools. Despite the board's attempt to deny it, District 196 schools are quickly becoming a place where promoting activism is actually more important than promoting education. I'll take you back to my first day at RHS this fall. The principal came out and gave us a heartfelt speech about equality and standing together. He began to list countless races, such as Latino, Asian, expressing how much they matter and how important they are. But never once did he mention a race or identity that reflects me, or half the kids that were in the class. Now, members of the board, I know you haven't been to school in a while, and I know none of you, or most of you, don't have any kids left in the school district. But you must admit how uncomfortable it will be to be characterized just by your skin color on the first day of school and be thought that you were wrong just because of your skin color. So I'll never forget the look one of my friends gave me from across the room as we were sitting there listening to this blatant bias being expressed in the so-called equity statement by the leader of our school. To be clear, I don't need you to tell me that I matter, but hearing the condolences given to other races and leaving just one race out, inevitably you'll start to feel like you've done something wrong. And in our principal's attempt to unify us, he instead created unwarranted boundaries and barriers between his students, pitting us against each other based on characteristics that we can't control. In another separate instance, I was told that writing "All Lives Matter" on the whiteboard was political and could be seen as offensive. When I questioned the teacher after class, she told me that she didn't have an answer and she just had to erase it, and it was quickly erased. There are political signs all over RHS, about specific races that matter, specific sexual orientations that matter, and specific perspectives that matter. But when I questioned the RHS administration about how these signs were political, they told me that they were supporting human rights. So when I questioned why the equity statement couldn't represent all students, they told me that to even ask that question was outlandish and offensive. And when I asked why that was, they told me, quote, "Whites have a pretty good situation right now," unquote.
There, right there, guys, that is what the problem is. You know, again, we're dividing people into groups. We're dividing people into groups because of the color of their skin. But we want to have people come together. We don't want hatred. We don't want white people hating black people or black people hating white people or whatever. Really? Because, man, if that's what you're going for, you are missing the mark. You are not even coming close to hitting the mark, man. Because, again, when you divide people into groups and prefer one over the other, you're going to cause a sense of hate. You know, again, man, did things happen wrong in the past? Yeah, sure they did. But this kid was not responsible. I mean, hell, I'm a middle-aged man. And I grew up in a time when things were together. You know, so, again, man, you know, if you're trying to bring people together, you can't do that by dividing people. That is the exact opposite of what you need to do. So, man, and trying to make him or other white people feel guilty for things they weren't involved with. I mean, think about that for a minute. Are all black people responsible for my car getting stolen years ago because it was a black person who stole it? No, they're not. And they shouldn't be held accountable. They shouldn't feel guilty for it. Because it's a false sense of guilt. So if you're able to dupe somebody into feeling guilty, it's not real. It's not going to last. Eventually, it will turn into anger because it's not real. It's false. They individually didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. This kid didn't do anything. And saying things like all lives matter is political, but Black Lives Matter is not. And you can't question that because, man, if you do, then they say things like, well, white people had it good for many years. Really? Again, guys, you're going to cause the very thing that you're wanting to get away from. Or at least you say you're wanting to get away from. But again, you're going to cause the very same problem, and probably even worse, man. You're probably going to even cause the worst problem. Because again, man, you're pitting people against one another. And eventually people are going to get angry. Not that I advocate for anger on something, but people will get angry. It will happen. But man, if you're wanting to bring people together, if you don't want division, if you want equity what you want equity. If you want equality, if you want things to be equal, you can't do that by dividing people into groups. You can't do it, man, because what you're doing is the exact opposite.
So is that not racism? Disregarding my question merely because of the color of my skin? To be honest, after enduring a year of the people in charge telling me that I'm a racist and I'm privileged and pointing out our irreversible differences, I've never noticed race more. And it's becoming the first thing I notice when I meet someone, which has never before been the case. RHS administration confidently told me that RHS students and staff are happy with their equity statement. But from my experience in talking with other students, this is not the case. I know many kids who disagree with their teachers, but they're too scared to stand up because they're worried that their grades will be docked and their learning experience will be affected. My honors government teacher, I'm not going to say his name, but he's mentioned that Democrats care more about all people while Republicans only care about themselves. And he's also inferred to us that socialism is better than democracy. He even had a statue. He had a statue of a socialist leader in his classroom. I've been told by a lot of kids that they just stay silent and adjust their schoolwork to reflect an acceptable opinion to secure a good grade. I've been approached by multiple teachers who have told me in private that they just want to say that they agree with me and they support me standing up, but they can't say it in front of the class for fear of being disciplined by the administration in some way or losing their jobs. There is clearly only one way to think in this district, and that is that they are teaching their kids to shut up if they don't agree. Now, members of the board, I want you to take a good look at yourselves in the mirror tonight and ask, are you really standing up for the equality of all people, or are you just pushing a damaging political ideology on our students? A fellow coworker at my job, who by the way is of color, discreetly told me that the schools seem to be pushing a very leftist agenda in class. This proved that not everyone is happy with your school, and not everyone who isn't happy is white. Now, due to all these instances I've mentioned and many more that I can't fit in this 5-minute speech, I have decided to leave this district and continue school on a private Christian school online. And there will be sacrifices, and I will not get to walk in the graduation ceremony or attend milestones at RHS, but I will be able to learn in an environment that is not intent on punishing me daily for my skin color and political views. Now, regardless of how you take my speech, whether you just shrug it off as malarkey or Fox News talking points, I encourage you to think about it, because someday I'm going to be a leader. I may be the president, a governor, or just a professional golfer, but I will never stop believing that everybody has value, no matter their skin color or personal beliefs, and it's a shame that you're not going to be able to say that I was an alumni of RHS in District 196. Thank you.
This young man, he deserves some kind of a medal, man, for getting up there and saying what he had to say. But again, man, it's weird, man, because adults, man, they should be up there saying this. But they're too afraid. They're too scared, man. They're too weak. They're too weak to get up there and say, you know what? Yeah, no, stop. This is crap, man. This is total BS. But they're too afraid, man. They don't want to be called racist, man. So they don't get up there. They don't speak. They don't say what they got to say. And the fact of the matter is, man, we all need to take the direction of this young man here. We need to. We need to speak up. We need to say what we need to say. When something is wrong, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you're white, if you're black, if you're brown. Speak up. Say something. Be willing to speak up. Be willing to talk. Be willing to say, you know what, man, that's wrong. And quit following people that try to pass bills that mandate speech or call stuff hate crimes or whatever, man. Crimes are crimes. Murder is murder. Assault is assault. Let's stop breaking things up into categories. Let's stop doing that. Right is right, wrong is wrong. But hey, look, guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a.